Well, just got back from Guantanamo Bay with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth for an exclusive look at where the Trump administration is holding illegal aliens. Here's what we found. It's 7:30 a.m. and we just arrived at Joint Base Andrews, right outside of Washington, D.C. You may hear the whirring of the government jet in the background. We're about to board. We're going to head to Gitmo. It's a 45-square-mile military base in southeastern Cuba, and it's known to many Americans for housing the 9/11 terrorists, including Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. But in the 90s, it was used to hold thousands of Haitian and Cuban migrants who were trying to claim asylum in the United States. But now, it has a new purpose.
We have 30,000 beds in Guantanamo to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. Some of them are so bad we don't even trust the countries to hold them because we don't want them coming back, so we're going to send them out to Guantanamo.
We're here aboard the Department of Defense government plane on the way to Naval Station Guantanamo Bay, where everybody knows there are flights of illegal immigrants arriving on a regular basis. That is the administration's decision as a way station before they are returned home. President Trump says he wants thousands of illegals to pass through Gitmo, try to speed up the process, but there are only a few hundred beds at Gitmo to accommodate them. 15 minutes after our plane touched down, a migrant flight from Fort Bliss came in. There are 9 high-value detainees, it's really loud, from Guatemala, Honduras, Guinea, Venezuela, Vietnam. So only 9 in that plane. But the commander told us they can only handle so many at a time, given the hospital facility, the psych facility here. But they're speeding up the processing every day, and it's becoming more efficient every day.
The vehicles that you just saw pull up, they came over on a ferry about an hour ago to get lined up. Wow. And right now, you'll see one by one, the illegal aliens will come off. They are shackled, they're screened on the site, and then they'll be put into the vehicles. The whole process starts, they go down the ramp onto the ferry. The vehicles stay on the ferry, and then it's a 20-minute drive once they get to the other side. Once they get to the detention facility, it's about another hour of in-processing that happens. So this whole dance takes about 2 hours total.
9 on that very large plane, but why? People watching be like, why is such a big plane? Why not a small plane?
There's at least 1 ICE personnel for each one of them. There's a medical team on board. So it gets small pretty quick.
Laura, we've had groups with more than that. Yeah. I think some of it is maintaining a constant flow with the assets that we have. And key thing that the general pointed out is it's all ICE custody.
How close are the 9/11 high-value enemy combatants to where these high-value illegal aliens are being housed?
They're in a different facility.
But how close?
They're close. They're within 50 yards of each other.
Wow.
But there's fences.
But there's no way they're going to have any interaction. There's no possibility they'll have interaction. They might as well be miles apart as far as these facilities.
What's your message to the cartels? They're watching all this. What's your message to them?
Well, my message has been from the beginning, we're taking nothing off the table. Nothing. We will do whatever it takes to secure the American homeland, to maintain our sovereignty, and protect the American people.
Does that mean you're ruling out potential strikes inside of Mexico on fentanyl labs that we know they exist, and we know where they exist?
No, I don't think I ruled anything out. Anything's on the table. The commander-in-chief, ultimately, with my consultation and with the chairman and others, will make those determinations, but nothing's off the table. Our sovereignty will be defended.
So the handoff has happened. The Marines are coming back. They've already been put in. That's how quick it goes now.
How long did it take? Maybe 10 minutes max? I once stood here as a fully kitted up second lieutenant on this runway. We stood there for 4 to 5 hours because you had to get the detainees back in the day, had to sign their own release ultimately. And the guy we were sending back refused to sign his own release back to his home country because, to your point, Laura, he was treated so well here, he actually didn't want to go back to where he was coming from because he knew he'd be mistreated.
And after the illegals were escorted off the plane, we moved our interview into the Joint Ops Center. Just in time for your visit here, the Washington Post has a hit piece out on this entire operation. They're basically saying that 3 of the detainees that were transported out of here last week were, not criminal offenders. They were run-of-the-mill illegal aliens, and they complained of inhumane conditions. They complained of mistreatment, isolation. Your response to that?
That article is BS. It is exactly what the Blame America First crowd will always do, which is try to characterize our efforts, try to mischaracterize our efforts in order to impugn the motives of the President of the United States and his efforts to secure the American people. This idea that people are being mistreated is absolute garbage.
But a federal judge stopped 3 Venezuelans from being transported here because apparently, at least temporarily, decided that it wasn't clear why they were being sent here. So clearly, the legal cases are trying to force the administration to give more information, more access to the migrants, more legal rights to the migrants, more access to attorneys, family, calls.
That's what they always do. My job as the Secretary of Defense is not to worry about what the lawyers are arguing. I've got my own set of lawyers that give us the legal parameters, and we are abiding by the law completely.
Coming up, we're going to take you inside where the illegal aliens are held at Gitmo.